recently, Councilwoman Williams saw me down in Atlantic City, asked if we would participate, and how could we say no? You know, as Brother Reggie Miller and I know that every time we lose a child, particularly a black or Latino male child, we're losing a warrior from our village, and we know that. I'm a retired sergeant in East Orange, founder of Black Cops Against Police Brutality, principal now at Adelaide L. Stanford Charter School, running the Police Athletic League in East Orange, and my children from East Orange work here with the children here in Orange. In fact, we just sent the boys basketball team off from the Orange Y today. And so these are our children. And it is all of our responsibility to talk about what the condition is. The sad news is that when we're talking about black children and young men gunning down other black men, we're absolutely talking about the symptom and not the problem. Because these are young people and their children. Part of it is a lack of love of self. Part of it is a lack of knowledge of self. And the other part is a lack of forgiveness of one another. And I'm just going to talk about those 3 points and get up out of here. When you don't know who you are, then it's easy for you to kill someone who looks like you. It is horrible. Certainly, we're the people that are suffering the most. Our children are suffering the most. And I'm a part of the Newark Anti-Violence Coalition that 72 weeks ago, we started shutting down the streets of Newark because of this very reason. And folks want to know, why are you shutting down the street? Because people are stepping over bodies and RIPs as though it's normal. And it is not normal to see parents burying their children at this age, at this time, in this day. And so as long as people act as though it's normal, we have to act like it's abnormal to see our babies and our families here suffering at the loss of life. It is inhumane. And people even today will drive by here as though, what's going on in that corner? You should all be out on this corner with the same amount of outrage, because we're outraged when cops kill our children. We should be more than outraged when our children kill our children. That's right, but it's a lack of knowledge of self. Certainly if I don't love me, I can't possibly love and respect you. And I'm saying that we're dealing with the symptom when we're talking about the young people, because they come from adults. And adults set the standard that young people seem to be following. See, when we kill our communities and our people off spiritually, when we kill them off economically, when we kill them off culturally, when we kill them off because they somehow seem to be different, then children simply emulate what they've watched grown people do. Check?
Check.
Now, I respect the council being out here. I'm glad they're coming with a solution. I'm glad the clergy is out here, because the solution lies with the adults so that young people have a model to follow. Until we stand up and say, I forgive you, my brother. I forgive you, my sister. I will not destroy them over there because they happen to be Christians and or Muslims or Jews or Yoruba or Ifa. I'm not going to allow light-skinned sisters to be beat down by dark-skinned sisters. We're not going to have the brothers on the north side of town fighting the south side of town. Because quiet as it's kept, this is going on all over the world. I spent the last 4 years in Bermuda. When I got there 4 years ago, it wasn't like this. And I appealed to them as they were paying me to help the adults understand that you're setting a poor precedent. And they said to me, you don't know what you're talking about. It sounds like America. This doesn't happen in Bermuda. Well, when they first brought me there, it was only having one homicide every 10 years. They've had 35 shootings this year and 17 homicides. Now they're calling, can you come back? Well, it's over now. It's over unless adults are going to set the standard. And the standard that we must set is we must lead by example. And I know some folk expect me to come and beat the children now because their pants are hanging below their knees and their butts are out and the girls are shaking it and backing it up, but they're doing what they've seen us do. And so if you want the children to change, then you have to change. Michael Jackson got that part right. If you want to make the world a better place, start with the man in the mirror and make the change. Certainly when you see brothers and sisters on the corner, I said to one of my security who lives in this town, he said, this has always been a hot spot. I said, then just stand on the corner. Just come on out in these numbers and just stand here. Because they're not going to sell while you're standing here. And they got the audacity, the heart, the unmitigated gall to pull out a weapon while 50 people here, there are no 50 bullet guns here. So you're only going to get 2 shots off and the community will deal with the rest. At the end of the day, we have to be outraged when our children are killing our children. It just can't be RIP and business as usual. So we have to love each other. I am so glad that the councilwoman invited me here. Because I can take communities where the council rides by crime and act like it's normal. We have to be outraged every day. I know I am and will continue to be. And then adults have to be willing to put their lives on the line for young people. I am tired of old people. Let me make that plain. I saw a couple people look at me and say, what did he just say? I am tired of old people. There's a difference between old people and elders. Elders, as they get older, they get wiser. Old people are just old and in the way. And they need to step aside if you're not going to make way for young people to take leadership and to take some power. Young people are fighting over rags and blue and red and light and dark and long hair and short hair because we haven't given them anything valuable to defend. What about education? What about value system? What about an African value system for African people? I had a parent come in to fight with me at the school the other day, and she was head wobbling and hand moving in my face. And all I did was just grab both hands and say, sister, I simply want to be your partner. I don't want to fight with you over the child. I will do whatever I need to do to help you, but I want you to start as my sister, not as my adversary and my enemy. Check? Check. That requires some sacrifice. Because she might have cussed me out or charged me for touching her. But I got to be willing to take the chance to say to my sister, I'm your brother, not your enemy. When the children on the street corner arguing and fighting, you just can't drive by because it's not your child. If it was your son out on the corner, you'd get out of your car, walk over to the group, and put your life on the line so they don't kill each other. But yet we drive by like that's normal, as some will continue to do. It can't be business as usual. Finally, you can tell the condition of any people by the condition of its women and its children. Look around today and look at the hearts of our women. They are in pain. Families are suffering. We are losing warriors that we should never lose at this age, at this time, in this day. But God has prepared us for moments such as these. And we recognize as our ancestors have survived slavery and rape and molestation and cultural destruction, all of those tools, including God, will be needed to change this condition. But what we have power over is ourselves. You can decide today to do something different, or you can walk away from this group and say, I went to a great gathering and heard dynamic speakers. They were deep. What did you learn? Nothing, because if it's business as usual, then you're part of the problem, not the solution. I leave you on the note of simply saying and commending the councilwomen for agitating. This is agitation when you raise the consciousness, Brother Miller, of the people with a loudspeaker and all the people coming together on one accord. And as Frederick Douglass says, that those who profess to favor freedom yet deprecate agitation are men and women who want crops without plowing the ground. You want rain without thunder and lightning, and you want the ocean without powerful roars of as many waters. The struggle, it may be a moral one, it may be a physical one, or it may be both, but there must be struggle. For power concedes nothing without demand. Never has, never will. Know just what any people will quietly submit to, and you know the exact measure of wrong and injustice that will be imposed upon you. And these will continue until they're resisted with words and with blows and with both. God bless you, Orange. Let's stay strong and let's stay united. Thank you.
Give my hand. Come on. Give it
Thank
up.
you. Fire it up.
Give it up. Come on
Let's
now.
keep on top of this. We had a Fisher family before us, Miss Fisher, the mother of Mark Fisher.